Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. What's up, people? We're going to start out by having a conversation about Lady Gaga and her French bulldogs that were unfortunately taken in a violent act, and it's very sad. For those of you who don't have pets, it may not be like a big deal to you if somebody loses their animals, but for a lot of people, whether you have children or not and they have animals, they're like your children. You may not have given birth to them, but they really are like a part of your family, like your children. You're taking care of them. And these were French bulldogs. All right. And so she is hoping and praying that whoever has the dogs will return them, whether they were sold to someone or the people who did what they did, if they would release them back to her because she wants her dogs back. She's hoping that this reward that she's putting up for $500,000 is going to ensure the safe return of her dogs. Well, this happened on Wednesday this week, where her dog walker was walking her French bulldogs, and it was at night. 9:40 p.m. to be exact, and it says the story that a white Nissan Altima pulled up and two men got out and demanded that the dog walker hand over the dogs, and he didn't do it, so the dog walker got shot, unfortunately, as he was trying to struggle with keeping the dogs and keeping the dog nappers off of the animals. So it got on some security footage, and it showed him, he was walking the dogs on the sidewalk, and then the incident happened and the dogs were stolen, and it shows him yelling and he is in pain. So she was away, actually out of the country at the time, filming for a movie when she got the news that this happened. And I'm quite sure that getting news like that is something that you are never expecting to get, but it happened, and now she's hoping for the return of her dogs. But this is the thing that a lot of people aren't really talking about, or I haven't heard anyone talking about. The dog walker was shot. The dog walker is probably somebody that has been working with her for some time, and he has a routine going. So he probably was doing the same routine all of the time. I'm not saying that the dog walker was involved in the situation in any way, but it's kind of, I don't think that this was random. It's really strange that all of a sudden on a Wednesday night, these people just pulled up and demanded that he turn over the dogs. It sounds like it's somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody in that line, whether it's somebody that knew the dog walker and knew that the dog walker was working for Lady Gaga, and that these were very expensive animals. Because let's face it, French bulldogs, if you don't know a whole lot about them, these are very expensive animals. They're purebred animals that are hard to breed. These dogs actually have to get artificially inseminated in order for these dogs to get pregnant. So that's one of the reasons why this breed is a very expensive breed. It's just not where they can just randomly get pregnant. This has to be set up. This has to be planned out. There's a lot of money and planning and time involved in even bringing these dogs to life. I used to have a client that got a couple of French bulldogs over time, and she was just telling me how expensive it was and how she had to save up in order to get these dogs. And I believe she still has 2 at this time. It's been some time since I've seen her, but this is a very expensive dog breed. And not only that, this is a very expensive dog breed, but these dogs belong to Lady Gaga. So if anybody has the money for some sort of reward or ransom, or however you might want to phrase it, it's Lady Gaga. Now, I'm hoping that she gets the dogs back. I don't know if she will. I don't believe that the people who did this to harm the animals. I don't believe that they did this in order to just keep these dogs as pets. I highly doubt that. I believe that this was somebody that knew the dog walker, knew about the dog walker, or knew somebody that knew the dog walker and knew that the dog walker worked for Lady Gaga and was walking Lady Gaga's dogs. And these dogs are very expensive breeds. I'm not saying that Lady Gaga couldn't have had some mutts and the same thing would not have happened, but let's just be honest. Most people in the position, like the celebrities, the Lady Gagas of the world, a lot of them don't have mutts. A lot of them don't have, a mixed breed dog that you would adopt from the SPCA. I'm not saying that they can't, but a lot of them, they have very expensive dog breeds. So I believe that this is not random. I just don't believe that it is. And again, I'm not saying that the dog walker was involved in any way, because I think that would be really, people do crazy things now. I'm not saying that people don't do crazy things, but that would be really crazy that the person would have wound up getting shot as he has and is in the hospital if he was involved in some way. I don't think that he would have gotten hurt. It would have been some sort of, Jussie Smollett sort of thing where he wasn't really, really injured or really hurt, if you get my drift. And I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying you kind of get what I'm saying when I bring up Jussie Smollett's name. So I don't believe that this was a fake situation, and I'm not saying that the dog walker set it up, but I just don't believe that it's random. And I believe more information is going to come out as time goes by. But I hope she gets the dogs back. She wrote on Instagram, "My beloved dogs Koji and Gustav were taken in Hollywood 2 nights ago. My heart is sick, and I am praying my family will be whole again with an act of kindness. I will pay $500,000 for their safe return." And she puts the email information up, and she was like, just contact us, or if you bought or found them unknowingly, the reward is the same. I continue to love you, Ryan Fisher, who's a dog walker. You risked your life to fight for our family. You're forever a hero. So no shade or anything like that. But the reward is for the safe return of the dogs. It's not so much the reward is for turning the people in who did this because they harmed my dog walker. But that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. She said what she said, and she said what she meant. So that's that on that part. And I really would love to know what you guys think about that in the comment section. All right. And finally, we're going to have a conversation about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I don't know if we call her Duchess anymore. I don't know what all of the different titles mean or don't mean anymore, what they can call themselves, what people can't call them, what they can be called, and all of this stuff now that they are no longer a part of the daily, I guess, activities of service as the quote unquote royal family anymore, since the split that happened and they've now moved to California, which is where Meghan Markle is from. But Prince Harry, he came out, or I don't even call him Prince Harry anymore, Harry. I guess he will always be the prince, but he'll never be the king. So he called the British media toxic, and he blamed them for the issues that were going on with his family and what caused he and Meghan to ultimately just say, you know what, we're done with this. We're out of here. And So, hey, Megan, where do you want to go? I think California is a place I want to be, like the Beverly Hillbilly said. So, they have since been in Los Angeles. And when they first moved to Los Angeles, they were living in one of Tyler Perry's homes for a while until they got their own place. But I guess those are the perks of being a part of the family now, because before she got married to Harry, she did not have that type of access. Yes, she was an actress on a show called Suits on the USA Network that nobody that I know ever watched or even knew of. So that's neither here nor there, but it is what it is. But he is blaming them for the rift. And so he did an interview with TV host James Corden, and it aired on Thursday night. So he was just talking about what the future may hold for him and for his family, and just talking about the finalization of the exit from the royal family, royal duties that just recently happened. So they were talking about the media, and Harry said that it's toxic, and he said that the media created a really difficult environment for the couple. And so he just said he decided to do what he needed to do as a husband and as a father and get his family out of there. So while I do commend him as a father and as a husband for doing what he felt was best for his family, I still believe, and this is just my opinion, and I would really love to know what you guys think about it. I don't hate Meghan Markle. I know there are people out there that hate Meghan Markle and they don't even know her. I get that. I know there are people out there that don't really care for her, and I know there are people that absolutely love and adore her that don't really know her either. So I'm just one of those people. I'm just kind of like indifferent towards it because I don't know her, and it doesn't affect my everyday life, but I do have my personal opinions on what I see. And just based on the things that I've seen, it just, to me, was like she didn't get the type of life that she was assuming she was going to have by becoming a part of the royal family and marrying into that family. And although she wanted the name recognition and the spotlight and the perks that come along with that life and that lifestyle, she didn't really want everything else that came along with it. And I'm not saying that she didn't want to work. That's not what I'm saying. But the royal family, from what I've learned of it, it's, yeah, you have the queen and the king and the prince or princes, and you have princesses, and you have dukes and duchesses and all these other different titles that people have, and all of that stuff, but they're essentially paid public servants. Being someone who's not from there, no, I don't know a whole lot about it, and I'm not proclaiming to know a whole lot about it, but I just know what I've learned. And so even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, that really is what it is. You're a public servant, and although you're very well paid and very well known, and for, you know, all intents and purposes, a very well adored public servant, you're a public servant. You're not somebody that is there to be served, if that makes sense. And yeah, they have their servants, and I don't really like to call them servants, but they have their support system and their assistants and you know, those type of people in the different positions that they hold. But it's not like these people are bowing down to you and all of that, you know, different type of stuff, and you just are there to be served every day, all day, and live a lavish lifestyle, and that's it. No, you're serving. And yeah, we know that there has been a number of different racist things that have been said about her, and I'm not saying that those things are cool or okay. I'm definitely not saying that. But also, Princess Diana, who died in a car crash a very long time ago, she was brutalized by the media. And she was not African American. She was not Asian. She wasn't another race. She was brutalized to the point of death by the media. So I don't know if Meghan Markle was unaware of how the tabloids are over there, but in comparison to what Princess Diana went through versus what Meghan Markle has, quote unquote, been going through with the media over there, to me, it's nothing. And no, I'm not walking in her shoes, and I don't know what that feels like being in that type of public eye and spotlight, but she chose that life. She didn't have to go forward with it. And she also proclaimed that she didn't really know who he was, and I don't believe that either. I believe that was a lie. I'm sorry, you may not have known a whole lot about him, but you know who Prince Harry was, so miss me with that. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. You might believe it, but I just don't. And so I believe that she is now getting everything that she wanted, because now with the attachment of being Prince Harry's wife, now she's getting this sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey of all people. Now, do you think she would have had access to Oprah Winfrey if it were not for who she's married to now? If she was just who she was before she got with Prince Harry, which was I don't know what list, but not A-list actress who was on a show called Suits on the USA Network that nobody really knew much about. A whole lot of people didn't know a whole lot about it. So now she's got this huge deal with Spotify for podcasts. She's getting a sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey, and all, for all intents and purposes, it's not just her, but again, it's the attachment. Yes, she is his wife. I get that. But it is because of that attachment that she has now that she is getting all of the access that she's getting the opportunity to live in Tyler Perry's mansion, getting a sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey, getting a huge deal on Spotify network, being signed to a management company that manages people like Barack and Michelle Obama and the Clintons, where any speech that these people do, they're usually getting at least 6 figures for like an hour-long speech. So it's crazy. So it's the access that she really has now is all because of him. And so now with Prince Harry coming out and saying all of these things about how it's the media's fault that he is no longer a part of the life that he was in before he got with Meghan, I feel like it's a cop-out. And I do believe that it's cool and it's a great thing when a couple can come together and agree on what they want their life to look like and want their life to be. And and the husband is wanting to see his wife happy. I'm all for that. So I'm not saying that I don't wish them well and I don't want them to be happy, but I just wish they were more honest in the things that they were saying. And I've said this before, that they just are not being honest with a lot of the things that they say. So when they continuously come out and make statements like this, it's like they're just always trying to point the blame at others as to why they made the decisions that they made. I would feel more respect for them if, he just came out and was honest and said, you know what? I got married to this woman. I fell in love with her pretty quick. We decided to do this thing together, and she made the sacrifice to come, leave her life behind and come where I was and try to live the life that I lived on a regular basis, but she just could not gel with it. And she really just wanted to get back to her life, but she wants to continue to be married and be husband and wife, living, I don't want to say a regular life, because of course she doesn't want the regular life. She wants the glitz and the glam and the lifestyle and the celebrity and the status and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of money. Of course she wants all of that, but we couldn't really have that, having this position of being servants in the royal family. So yeah, we will continue to be charitable, but we really want to just rack in the dough and be charitable on our own terms. So we decided to just call it quits and leave it behind. And yeah, I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for it. I've already gotten a lot, and I probably will continue for the rest of my life because people will resent me, but this is what I want, and hey, I'm never going to be the king anyway. So why would I even continue to waste my time? And enough is enough. And I would have more respect for that. I would have more respect for that versus how they're trying to make themselves out to be the victims and the martyrs. And I've said this before about Meghan Markle. It's clear that she is biracial. Very, very clear, because she has shown that her mother is an African American woman. We get that. Her father is Caucasian. Whatever the rifts were in the family, I'm not getting into all of that, in her personal family. If you never knew who her mother was, most people wouldn't even know that she was biracial. And I'm not saying that because of her skin being lighter, just because her skin is lighter. I'm just talking about just the way she carries herself. And I'm not saying she has to speak with slang or talk ghetto or speak in ebonics or whatever, phrases people want to use when it comes to how they say black people speak this way and white people speak this way. I'm not talking about that. But if you look at earlier pictures of her when she was younger, and you have to Google those, her hair, her natural hair, it is very, very big and frizzy. It's not this straight. She goes through efforts to make herself not even look like she is biracial. You look at Tia and Tamara, you see, you know that they're biracial. You look at people, like those girls, or ladies, I should say. They're not girls anymore. I say girls because I used to watch Sister Sister back in the day. But you look at people like them, you know that they're biracial. With Meghan Markle, she goes through the efforts to make sure that she does not really look like she's biracial. If you look at her, not saying there's anything wrong with having your hair straight, but she makes sure that her hair is never looking that way. And that usually is a huge sign for a lot of people, just with the hair. And she never allows us to see her hair in that state. She makes sure that she keeps her hair flat iron. And that's one of the things that it gets to me a little bit about her, because I really don't see her embracing that side of herself. Although now that she is a part of her husband's family and what comes along with that, and she has shunned and dismissed her father's side of the family now, when she grew up, she was close to him, and he is the one that actually helped her to get into the places that she got into with her career, with acting, because of the types of jobs that he was doing back in the day. But anyway, Prince Harry and Meghan, they're blaming the British media for the reason ultimately why they decided to leave. And it's peeing off his brother, Prince William, and Kate, and they are just not happy about the moves that they're making, especially with this upcoming interview that they're supposed to have with Oprah Winfrey. They are nervous about it because they really don't know what they're going to be opening up about and sharing, but we shall see. And I may talk about it when it comes out and go from there. I don't really see myself sitting down and watching the interview because it's just not really my thing. So I'll probably check out the highlights, and if there's anything I want to touch on, I may talk about that. But guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you feel that it was the British media's fault as to why they decided to give it all up and leave? And how do you feel about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and the moves that they're making? They're definitely utilizing their status to build a huge empire here in the United States and possibly abroad, but just no longer a part of the royal family. So I really want to know what you guys think about it in the comment section. Please let me know, and like and subscribe, and just share your thoughts respectfully, and I will comment back. But I appreciate you guys so much. And until the next episode, I'm just being beautifully honest.